Okay, we're ready to begin. Emma Watson from Manchester is in the start. Emma now on course up top. In the start is Sydney Pichette from Haverhill. Time for Emma, 26.04. Sydney Pichette now on course up top, and Shade Terrell from Newburyport is in the start. Shade Terrell now on course up top. Margaret Borenstein from Andover is in the start. Time for Sydney, 26.91. Margaret Borenstein now on course up top. Alex Hill from Asconomet is in the start. Time for Shea, 28.70. Alex Hill on course up top. Ali Peralt from Austin is in the start. Time for Margaret, 24.78. Ali Peralt now on course up top, and Elise Neely in the start for North Andover. Time for Alex Hill, 23.70. Elise Neely now on course up top, and Anya Bixby from Manchester is in the start. Time for Alley, 25.56. Anya Bixby on course up top. Ashley Gagnon from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Elise, 30.22. Ashley Gagnon on course up top, and Lily Cherbanian from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Anya, 24.64. Lily Cherbanian on course up top, and Sammy Daly from Andover is in the start. Time for Ashley, 23.45. Sammy Daly on course up top, and Charlotte Hill from Asconomet is in the start. Time for Lily, 24.75. Charlotte Hill on course up top. Sydney Pillar from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Sammy, 24.54. Sydney Pillar on course up top. Ava Barbado from North Andover is in the start. Time for Charlotte, 22.93. Ava Barbado now on course up top, and Lydia Schwartz is in the start from Manchester. Time for Sydney, 22.46. Lydia Schwartz on course up top. Emily Miller from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Ava, 25.21. Emily Miller on course up top. Grace Chandler from Newburyport in the start. Time for Lydia, 27.25. Grace Chandler on course up top, and Brooke Downey from Andover is in the start. Time for Emily, 23.81. Brooke Downey on course up top, and Amanda Schneider from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Grace, 23.08. Amanda Schneider on course up top, and Vera Mascarelli from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Brooke, 23.91. Vera Mascarelli on course up top, and Nina Muse from North Andover is in the start. Time for Amanda Schneider, 22.83. Nina Muse on course up top, and Casey Twombly from Manchester is in the start. Time for Vera, 24.49. Casey Twombly on course up top, and Nora Hess from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Nina, 23.99. Nora Hess on course up top, and Avery Keller from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Casey, 26.25. Avery Keller on course up top, and Megan Ong from Andover is in the start. Time for Nora, 26.63. Megan Ong on course up top, and Megan Riley from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Avery, 26.37. Megan Riley on course up top, and Jillian Whitney from Austin in the start. Time for Megan, 24.17. Jillian Whitney on course up top. Liat Moritz from North Andover is in the start. Time for Megan, 22.91. Liat Moritz on course up top. Gracie Susko from Manchester in the start. Time for Jillian, 23.96. Gracie Susko on course up top. Alex Sullivan from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Liat, 24.07. Alex Sullivan on course up top. Amanda Lichtenberg from Andover is in the start. Time for Gracie, 27.32. Amanda Lichtenberg on course up top. Nicole Schneider from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Alex, 28.42. Nicole Schneider on course up top. Allie Jenks from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Amanda, 24.58. Allie Jenks on course up top. Sam Melville from North Andover is in the start. Time for Nicole, 23.66. Sam Melville on course up top. Sienna Crocker from Manchester is in the start. 24.63. Sienna Crocker on course up top. Marissa Dewey from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Sam, 24.96. Marissa Dewey on course up top, and Lily Westerman from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Sienna, 28.18. Lily Westerman on course up top. Lori Kim from Andover is in the start. Time for Marissa, 27.03. Lori Kim on course up top, and Ava Pelletier from Asconomet is in the start. Time for Lily, 30.51. Ava Pelletier on course up top. Maggie Gold from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Bory, 24.68. Maggie Gove on course up top, and Liv Downer from North Andover is in the start. Time for Ava, 23.53.
Yes, you're right.
Liv Downer on course up top. Grayson Crocker from Manchester is in the start.
Okay, you got Manchester 7.
Time for Maggie, 25.26. Grayson Crocker on course up top. Jocelyn Travis from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Liv, 24.97. Jocelyn Travis on course up top. Molly Smith from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Grayson, 28.31. Molly Smith from Newburyport on course up top. Elise Porter from Andover is in the start. Time for Molly Smith from Newburyport, 30.84. Elise Porter is in the start from Andover. Elise Porter now on course up top. Lauren Downs is in the start from Masco. Lauren Downs on course up top. Lizzie Hart from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Elise, 24.51. Lizzie Hart on course up top. In the start is Vanessa Mabley from North Andover. Time for Lauren, 23.42. Vanessa Mabley on course up top. Katie Bappy from Manchester is in the start. Time for Lizzie, 26.23. Katie Bappy on course up top. Megan Gomes from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Vanessa, 25.02. Megan Gomes on course up top, and Rima Lambert from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Katie, 27.91. Rima Lambert on course up top, and Demi Hatzigiannis from Andover is in the start. Time for Megan, 44.72. Demi Hatzigiannis on course up top, and Haley Serafino from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Rima, 33.15. Haley Serafino on course up top. Allie Burns from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Demi, 25.02. Allie Burns on course up top. Jen Bartlett from North Andover is in the start. Time for Haley, 23.75. Jen Bartlett on course up top. Celia Mantle from Manchester in the start. Time for Allie, 25.51. Celia Mantle on course up top. Kate Garish from Haverhill in the start. Time for Jen, 26.20. Kate Garish on course up top, and Josie Moore from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Celia, 28.22. Josie Moore on course up top. Elise Fergus from Andover is in the start. Time for Kate Garish, 30.95. Elise Fergus on course up top. Nora Duval from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Josie Moore, 36.95. Nora Duval on course up top. Lily Burns from Austin in the start. Time for Elise, 25.86. Lily Burns on course up top. Emma DeBressy from North Andover in the start. Time for Nora, 23.75. Emma DeBressy from North Andover on course up top. Maddie O'Grady from Manchester is in the start. Time for Lily, 26.68. Maddie O'Grady on course up top. Orly Hess from Haverhill in the start. Time for Emma, 27.83. Orly Hess on course up top. Maddie McCauley from Andover in the start. Time for Maddie, 28.85. Maddie McCauley on course up top. Liv White from Masco in the start. Time for Orly, 31.36. Liv White on course up top. Nora Wright from Austin is in the start. Time for Maddie, 25.84. Nora Wright on course up top. Maddie Segru from North Andover is in the start. Time for Liv White, 25.75. Maddie Segru on course up top. Stella Stroh from Manchester in the start. Time for Nora, 27.34. Stella Strobe on course up top. Rachel Barman from Haverhill in the start. Time for Maddie, 25.87. Rachel Barman on course up top. Lucy Baker from Andover in the start. Time for Stella, 32.62. Lucy Baker on course up top, and Lillian Kearney from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Rachel, 38.32. Lillian Kearney on course up top. Michelle LaFerriere from Austin in the start. Time for Lucy, 24.63. Michelle LaFerriere now on course up top. Isabella Robinson from North Andover is in the start. Time for Lillian, 25.40. Isabella Robinson on course up top, and Ela Martin from Manchester is in the start. Okay, ladies, we request three of you to go back up for a rerun. Michelle LaFerriere from Austin, Isabella Robinson from North Andover, and Ela Martin from Manchester, Essex. Please go to the top for a rerun. So just to repeat, Michelle LaFerriere from Austin, Isabella Robinson from North Andover, Ela Martin from Manchester, Essex, to the top for a rerun.
All right. Yeah, no, I figured there would be no problem. I just, if something's wrong, you don't know what it is. You just, yeah, so I just realized what something was happening. Alright.
Paola Contreras now on course from Havel up top. Grace Welsh from Andover is in the start. Grace Welsh on course up top from Andover. Ashley Elwell is in the start from Masco. Time for Paola, 31.73. Ashley Elwell on course up top. Rachel Coons from Austin is in the start. Time for Grace, 25.13.
You had an awesome finish. You just got late on that one gate.
Rachel Coons on course up top. Mia Bono from North Andover in the start.
Go Ashley! Go Ashley!
Time for Ashley, 25.14. Mia Bono on course up top. Gwen Berger from Manchester is in the start. Time for Rachel, 29.80. Gwen Berger on top. Gwen Berger on course up top. Hannah Minnis in the start from Havel. Time for Mia, 29.53. Hannah Minnis on course up top. Evie Hesketh from Andover is in the start. Time for Gwen, 38.08. Evie Hesketh on course up top, and Agatha Markins from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Hannah, 30.00. Agatha Markins on course up top. Aish Colbury from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Evie, 25.32.
yes or no?
Yes. Awesome control. It's okay, it's not that big a deal. We'll figure it out.
Is that North Andover that part? Nasco.
Nasco, 13.
13, Nasco 13.
Okay, but you have it anyway.
Yeah, I hope she's alright. I saw the ball. I'm most worried at that position. I was hoping to be netting him too. That wouldn't help. Four wheeler now is near each other. They're gonna, they're gonna spawn out of here, so I think it's not great for they get to watch. Yeah, yeah. So as soon as they start going down, we'll start running again. I'll get there by then. I don't know, when you see me next time, let me know if she's alright with her.
Yeah. I think you got the ring on that.
Probably, I don't know, I saw her. It was pretty good.
Michelle LaFerriere now from Austin Prep is on course up top.
Alright, now you get the North Andover rerun, correct?
Isabella Robinson from North Andover is in the start.
And we'll be starting in 5 minutes. That's all we're signed up for 4:30. Okay,
In the start is Ela Martin from Manchester, Essex. Time for Michelle, 27.49. Ela Martin on course up top. Time for Isabella, 29.04. Ela Martin on course, and Quinn Phillips from North Andover is in the start.
Alright, you get on North Andover 13. Okay, very good. 10 North Andover. Alright, yes,
Quinn Phillips on course up top. Time for Quinn Phillips, 34.13. Time for Aubrey Fritsch, 30.50. Put it on the tape. Yeah.
We go back to college. Well, I did. Scott, my sister, and I had gone 2 years before that.
Now we'll sign up for 4:30 snowboard lessons. Those lessons starting right now in the Varsity area. That's all we'll sign up for 4:30 p.m. snowboard lessons. Those lessons are starting right now at the lesson meeting area.
In the start is Iris Garcia from Haverhill.
Okay, you have a hand over 14.
In the start is Michaela Sherlock from Andover. Michaela Sherlock now on course up top. Liz Betancourt from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Iris, 44.82. Liz Betancourt on course up top. Caroline Kelly from Austin is in the start. Time for Michaela, 26.82. Caroline Kelly on course up top. Kate Kingsley in the start for North Andover. Time for Liv, 25.21. Kate Kingsley on course up top. Maggie Light from Manchester is in the start. Time for Caroline Kelly, 30.00. Maggie Light on course up top. Grace Malloy from Andover is in the start. Time for Kate, 31.54. Maggie Light on course. Grace Malloy from Andover is in the start. Grace Malloy on course up top. Ella Bernard from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Maggie, 33.79. Ella Bernard now on course up top. Lily Rizza from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Grace, 28.67. Lily Rizza on course up top. Ava Jennings from North Andover is in the start. Time for Ella, 26.97. Lily Rizzo on course and Ava Jennings on course up top. Time for Lily, 33.25. And the time for Ava Jennings is 34.15. That concludes the varsity race. JV race will start in about 5 minutes. Thank you. JV race is going to start. Rose Warner from Manchester is in the start. Rose is now on course up top. Katie Macole from Andover is in the start. Time for Rose, 23.78. Katie Macole now on course up top, and Megan Richard from Masconomet is in the start. Megan Richard now on course up top, and Taylor Groh is in the start for Austin. Time for Katie, 29.26. Taylor Groh on course up top, and Reese Magennis in the start for North Andover. Time for Megan, 25.86. Reese Magennis on course up top. Kiernan Day from Manchester is in the start. Time for Taylor, 30.94. Kiernan Day now on course up top, and Krista Calhoun from Andover is in the start. Time for Reese, 37.02. Krista Calhoun on course up top, and Grace Chiaccio from Masconomet in the start. Time for Kiernan Day, 25.70. Grace Chiaccio now on course up top, and Abby O'Keefe from Austin is in the start. Krista's time, 27.52. Abby O'Keefe on course up top, and Ayla Sifrick from Manchester is in the start. Time for Grace, 26.04. Ayla Sifrick now on course up top. Megan Rickers from Andover is in the start. Abby O'Keefe's time, 32.4. Megan Rickers on course up top, and Molly Cullivan from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Ayla, 26.42. Molly Cullivan on course up top. Grace Busser from Austin is in the start. Time for Megan, 30.23. Grace Busser now on course up top. Rory Gerhardt from Manchester is in the start. Time for Molly, 26.64. Rory Gerhardt on course up top. Emily Flanagan in the start for Andover. Time for Grace, 31.71. Emily Flanagan on course up top. Lauren Foley from Masco is in the start. Time for Rory, 28.58. Lauren Foley on course up top. Paige Martin from Austin is in the start. Time for Emily, 28.62. Paige Martin on course up top. Lila Malone from Manchester in the start. Time for Lauren, 29.84. Lila Malone on course up top. Audrey Haskell from Andover in the start. Time for Paige, 33.03. Audrey Haskell on course up top, and Caitlin McNulty from Masco is in the start. Time for Lila, 31.60. Caitlin McNulty on course up top. Catherine Cankroll in the start for Austin. Time for Audrey, 28.30. Catherine Cankroll on top. On course up top. Estelle Rankin from Andover is in the start. Time for Caitlin, 26.83. Estelle Rankin from Andover on course up top. Abigail Ruggles from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Catherine, 39.10. Abigail Ruggles on course from Masconomet up top. Kate Tesoro from Austin is in the start. Time for Estelle, 30.49. Kate Tesoro on course up top, and Isabel Marquis from Andover is in the start. Time for Abigail, 30.74. Isabel Marquis on course up top. Ava Pacillo from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Kate, 31.04. Ava Pacillo now on course up top, and Lillian Fix from Austin is in the start. Time for Isabel, 29.88. Lillian Fix on course up top. Anna Broderick from Andover is in the start. Time for Ava, 30.15. Anna Broderick on course up top, and Abby Fillmore from Masco is in the start. Time for Lillian, 32.16. Abby Fillmore on course up top, and Anna Dahlman from Austin is in the start. Time for Anna Broderick, 30.16. Anna Dahlman on course up top, and Anat Briskin from Andover is in the start. Time for Abby, 30.01. Anat Briskin on course up top, and Emily Laws from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Anna, 32.38. Emily Laws on course up top. Katie Albano from Austin is in the start. On course up top is Angela Mack from Andover, and Sophia Farmer is in the start for Masco. Time for Emily Laws, 30.52. Sophia Farmer now on course for Masconomet. Nevy Fitzgerald from Austin Prep is in the start.
What? What are you saying?
You're on.
No. You're proud. Good thing. This is good for our community.
Time for Angela, 32.21. Nevy Fitzgerald on course up top, and Jocelyn Barton from Andover is in the start. Time for Sophia, 29.72. Jocelyn Barton on course up top. Molly Lane from Masconomet is in the start. Time for Nevy, 36.62. Molly Lane on course up top. Caitlin Gagney from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Jocelyn, 30.56. Caitlin Gagney on course up top. Isabel Buckley from Andover is in the start. Time for Molly Lane, 29.57. Isabella Buckley on course up top. Morris Smith from Masco is in the start. Time for Caitlin, 39.16. Morris Smith on course up top. Julia Essler from Austin is in the start. Time for Isabella, 29.26. Julia Essler on course up top, and Kiki Donahue from Andover is in the start. Time for Mara, 35.61. In the start is Lou Eisenhower from Austin Prep. Excuse me, Kiki Donahue from Andover is in the start. Lou Eisenhower is right behind her. Kiki Donahue now on course, and Lou's in the start. Lou Eisenhower now on course up top. Izzy Sr. is in the start from Andover. Time for Kiki, 29.91. Izzy Sr. now on course up top from Andover. Isabella Eisenhower is in the start for Austin. Time for Lou, 43.94. Isabella Eisenhower now on course up top. Caroline Ferlizzi is in the start for Austin. Time for Izzy, 31.28. Isabella Eisenhower on course. Time for Isabella, 39.93. 99.49. Up top on the start is Katie Albano from Austin Prep.
Okay, Jenna.
Katie's now on course.
Okay, good job, bro. Thank you. Appreciate your service.
Time for Katie, 41.41. That concludes the junior varsity race. Another great day. We'll see you all next week.
Start with this side, guys, because they got the signs on it. And we're gonna wrap this one up too, and then we put them right up against the shed.